Hold on to your seats, because the political world is about to get a scandalous shakeup that no one saw coming. Fans are in shock as J.D. Vance's wife has just gone public, and trust us, you're not going to want to miss what she revealed. Rumors had been swirling for months, whispers of a hidden agenda and secret ambitions lurking behind closed doors, but now, the truth is out, and it's explosive. Emotions ran high as she tore into Erika Kirk, exposing plans that could change everything for the so-called First Lady contender. What was meant to be a private family matter has turned into a full-blown public showdown, and the fallout is already rippling through social media. Friends and insiders are speaking out, and sources say the confrontation was nothing short of fiery. Accusations flew, voices cracked, and the family was left divided, leaving everyone questioning loyalties and intentions. Could Erika's secret ambitions really upend the life JD and his wife have built? And more importantly, what does this mean for the public image of one of the most talked about political couples in recent memory? Stay tuned, because what you're about to hear will shock you, anger you, and have you begging for more. The night had barely settled over Cincinnati when J.D. Vance's wife, Ellie, decided she had had enough. For months, she had quietly endured the rumors, the suspicious late-night calls, and the inexplicable meetings that seemed to pull her husband further away from home. But this time, something inside her snapped. She wasn't just upset, she was furious, and the truth she was about to reveal would shock everyone. Sources close to the family whispered that Ellie had been collecting evidence, snippets of conversations, and eyewitness accounts that painted a picture of a secret plan that no one, not even JD, had fully realized. Fans of the couple were blindsided when the news broke online first as a cryptic post from Ellie, hinting at betrayal and ambition that went far beyond ordinary political aspirations. "You think I wouldn't find out?" Ellie's voice trembled, half with anger, half with heartbreak, as she confronted her closest friend over a leaked message. "You really think I wouldn't see the patterns, the lies, the secret calls?" "It's all coming out now," the friend, visibly shaken, nodded but could barely speak. "Ellie, I didn't know it was this serious. I thought it was just, political strategy." Ellie slammed her hand down on the table, making the wine glasses rattle. "Strategy? No, this is a personal invasion. This is manipulation, and it's going straight to the public." As the story started to unfold, social media exploded. Hashtags like #FirstLadyDrama and #VanceFamilyFeud began trending, with fans dissecting every minor detail of the couple's public appearances. The internet was alive with speculation, and emotions ran high. Insiders claimed that the tension had been simmering for months, long before Ellie's revelation, and that JD himself was caught between loyalty to his wife and the growing pressure from an ambitious political ally, Erika Kirk. Ellie's exposé focused on Erika's secret First Lady plan, a strategy allegedly designed to put Erika in the spotlight, using charm, carefully curated appearances, and behind-the-scenes maneuvering to secure influence that went far beyond what anyone expected. According to Ellie, Erika had been quietly building a network of supporters, advisors, and even media contacts, all while maintaining a veneer of friendliness and civility. "She smiles at you," Ellie said in a tearful video confession, but behind that smile, there's calculation. Every handshake, every photo op, it's all part of a plan I wasn't aware of until it was almost too late. The confrontation between Ellie and Erika didn't happen online. It was direct, in a private family gathering that turned explosive. Sources say JD had invited both women to a weekend dinner, intending to smooth over rising tensions, but instead, emotions ran wild. Ellie recounted the moment in a private interview, saying, "We were all sitting down, and I could see it in her eyes, the way she was sizing everyone up. She thought she could charm her way through it. I decided right then I wasn't going to let it slide." The first words from Erika, according to witnesses, were calm, almost too calm. "Ellie, I don't know why you're making such a big deal out of nothing. We're all on the same team here," but Ellie didn't back down. "Nothing? Nothing? I have messages, I have schedules, I have witnesses who can confirm that you've been planning to step into a role that is not yours to claim. And you thought I wouldn't find out?" The room went silent. JD, visibly uncomfortable, tried to mediate. Ellie, Erika, please, let's not turn this into a scene. We can talk this through, but Ellie was unstoppable. No, JD. I've been quiet long enough. The truth has to come out. Friends and family who were present later described the atmosphere as tense, almost electric. One attendee whispered, "I've never seen Ellie like that." It was like watching a storm break. And Erika, she looked shocked. Like she hadn't expected anyone to catch on. Another source revealed that Erika's usual composure faltered when Ellie produced a small folder of meticulously organized evidence, texts, schedules, and notes that traced Erika's ambitions over the past year. She thought she was untouchable, Ellie explained later, but no one can hide forever. JD's reaction was a mix of shock and defensiveness. He reportedly turned to Ellie and said, "I had no idea it had gone this far. You're blowing things out of proportion." Ellie's reply, icy and unwavering, was simple. "I'm not blowing anything out of proportion. The facts speak for themselves. And if you truly care about our family, you'll acknowledge the truth." The conversation, according to insiders, went on for hours, with voices rising and falling, accusations flaring, and even tears being shed. The family, normally seen as composed and united, was left divided, each member grappling with loyalty, betrayal, and disbelief. Outside observers quickly jumped into the fray. Political commentators speculated on how Erika's ambitions might affect JD's public image and campaign prospects. Some argued that if the allegations were true, it could represent a calculated power play, undermining the perceived unity of the couple. Others were quick to defend Erika, saying that ambitions are natural in political life, and that the drama was exaggerated by a hyper-focused public. Fans were polarized, with some expressing outrage at Erika's supposed secretive behavior, while others criticized Ellie for exposing private family matters in such a public way. The tension escalated when a supposed mutual friend of both women leaked a private voicemail, allegedly from Erika to a political strategist, outlining steps to increase her visibility at official events, draft talking points, and cultivate media connections, all while maintaining the appearance of supportive camaraderie with Ellie. The leak caused an immediate uproar online, with reactions ranging from disbelief to shock to anger. Commentators noted that the voicemail, if authentic, painted a picture of manipulation that mirrored classic political dramas, leaving fans riveted by every detail. Ellie, however, claimed her motivation was not revenge but protection. "This isn't about me," she said in a recorded message. "This is about our family, about transparency, about not allowing someone else's ambitions to overshadow what we've built together. I love JD, and I love what we have, but I will not be sidelined by secrecy and deception." The emotional weight of her words struck a chord with followers, sparking a wave of support and empathy. Thousands of fans commented online, expressing solidarity, saying they understood the heartbreak and the courage it took to confront such a delicate matter publicly. Meanwhile, Erika reportedly reached out privately to close allies, insisting that everything was a misunderstanding. "I never intended to hurt anyone," she allegedly said. "My goal has always been to support JD and the causes we believe in," yet the statements did little to quell the growing storm. Insiders hinted that Erika's insistence on her innocence only added fuel to the fire, as many wondered whether her carefully cultivated image was cracking under pressure. The first major twist in the saga came when a previously unknown source claimed that Erika had scheduled a secret meeting with top advisors, supposedly to discuss plans for a First Lady initiative, something that JD's wife allegedly had no prior knowledge of. The revelation sent shockwaves through the political circle and beyond. According to the source, the meeting was to outline public engagements, social campaigns, and influence strategies, all aiming to elevate Erika's profile in ways that could compete with or even overshadow Ellie. The family was left grappling with the implications, and the public could barely keep up with the unraveling drama. As the night stretched on, emotions continued to flare. JD's parents, who were initially trying to mediate, found themselves caught in the middle. "We just wanted a peaceful dinner," one family member said later. But the tension was unbearable. "It felt like a chess game, and we were all pawns." The intimate gathering had transformed into a battlefield of loyalty, ambition, and raw emotion. Every conversation, every glance, every gesture was scrutinized, both by those present and by a growing audience eager to consume the drama. And yet, despite the chaos, Ellie remained resolute. She knew that by speaking out, she risked judgment, public criticism, and potential fallout for JD's career. But the fire in her voice, the conviction in her eyes, and the meticulous evidence she presented left no doubt. She was prepared to fight for her family, to expose the truth, and to confront the ambitions that threatened to destabilize the life they had carefully built together. As the first chapter of this explosive saga came to an uneasy close, one thing was certain: this was far from over. The tension had been ignited, the players were defined, and the stage was set for twists, betrayals, and revelations that would leave fans riveted for weeks to come. The morning after that explosive dinner, the household was anything but peaceful. The tension lingered like a storm cloud that refused to pass. Ellie awoke early, her mind racing with every detail of the previous night, every accusation, every glance, every whispered threat. She knew that the confrontation had only scratched the surface, and that if she truly wanted to protect her family, she would have to go deeper. JD, on the other hand, seemed caught in a tug-of-war between loyalty and political optics, unsure how to navigate the growing storm without losing control of either his personal life or public image. "Ellie, we can't keep doing this in front of everyone," JD said softly, attempting to calm the rising tension as he made breakfast. "We need a strategy. You know the press will jump on this." Ellie, stirring her coffee with deliberate force, shook her head. "Strategy?" JD, the strategy was honesty. "For months, I watched her manipulate, plan, and scheme behind our backs. This isn't about headlines, it's about truth. It's about our family." JD's expression faltered. He loved her, yes, but he could feel the weight of public perception pressing down, and it was almost suffocating. Just as tensions simmered at home, word began to leak. A local blogger, claiming an anonymous tip, published a story detailing the so-called First Lady plan. The article described Erika Kirk meticulously planning public appearances, social initiatives, and media engagements to position herself as the future First Lady, regardless of Ellie's presence. Within hours, the story went viral. Fans were shocked, comments flooded in, and online forums lit up with speculation and heated debates. Some supporters of Ellie praised her bravery, while others accused her of exaggerating the truth, turning private family matters into a public spectacle. Ellie, however, refused to be silenced. She began preparing a public statement, carefully crafting her words to balance emotion with facts. "I never wanted to go public," she said in a private message to a close friend. But when the family is at risk, when manipulation is involved, silence is no longer an option. Erika has her ambitions, but this crosses a line. She wasn't just angry, she was resolute, determined to make sure that no one could question the sincerity of her intentions or the depth of her evidence. Meanwhile, Erika's camp responded, though the reaction only seemed to escalate the drama. A close associate released a statement claiming that the accusations were misunderstandings and exaggerations, that Erika's intentions were purely supportive of JD and the family, and that any rumors of a secret plan were fabrications. Yet, insiders said that Erika herself was far from calm. She had retreated to a quiet room, pacing and muttering to herself. "They think they know," she reportedly said. "They have no idea what's really happening. I won't let this backfire." Her resolve only added tension, leaving those around her guessing which move she would make next. The drama escalated when Ellie's sister, Caroline, called in unexpectedly, having heard rumors from friends who had read the blog. "Ellie, this is insane," Caroline exclaimed. "People are talking. They're saying you're overreacting, that you're jealous." "Are you sure you want to go public?" Ellie, her voice shaking but firm, replied. "I don't care about gossip, Caroline. This isn't about jealousy. It's about protecting our family from someone who is planning to step into a role that isn't hers." The conversation ended with an uneasy silence, each woman grappling with loyalty, judgment, and the emotional toll of being in the public eye while navigating private betrayal. The situation took another turn when a source close to Erika leaked a set of emails allegedly showing coordination with political strategists. These emails suggested that Erika had been planning events, speeches, and media appearances to gradually elevate her profile in ways that could rival Ellie's influence. Fans were shocked. Social media exploded with outrage, speculation, and conflicting opinions. The family was now at the center of a public spectacle, and every move, every glance, every statement would be dissected by an audience hungry for drama. JD, increasingly aware of the precarious situation, attempted to mediate once more. He arranged a private meeting at their home, hoping to find common ground. Ellie entered the room, holding the folder of evidence that had become a symbol of her determination. Erika followed, her composure slightly faltering, but her expression carefully controlled. JD began, "We need to talk calmly. This is tearing us apart, and it doesn't have to be that way. We can find a solution." Ellie, her eyes flashing with intensity, responded calmly, "Calm doesn't fix betrayal. We need truth, JD. We need acknowledgement of what's been happening behind our backs." Erika, finally speaking, tried to soften the tension. "Ellie, I never wanted to hurt anyone. I was just trying to support your husband and contribute positively. Can't we find a compromise?" The words sounded diplomatic, but those present could feel the underlying tension, the barely restrained ambition lurking beneath the surface. Just when it seemed the confrontation might reach a resolution, another twist emerged. A video clip surfaced online, showing Erika speaking at a private gathering months earlier, outlining her vision for the First Lady role in ways that seemed to mirror the accusations Ellie had made. The clip was short but powerful. Erika's confident tone, the strategic planning, the emphasis on public visibility, it all suggested that the accusations were not entirely unfounded. Fans were shocked, the family was thrown into turmoil, and social media was ablaze with commentary. Everyone was trying to piece together the true story, and the line between truth and perception grew increasingly blurred. As the day progressed, tensions continued to rise. Friends and allies of both women weighed in privately and publicly, some trying to mediate, others taking sides. One close friend of Ellie described the scene. "It was like watching two storms collide. Neither side would back down, and JD was caught in the middle, desperate to keep the family together." The emotional toll was apparent. Even casual observers could sense the strain. Every interaction, every conversation, every glance was loaded with unspoken accusations, regret, and tension. The conflict reached a peak when Ellie, frustrated with the lack of acknowledgement from Erika, decided to go further. She began contacting mutual acquaintances who had witnessed interactions, collected more evidence, and compiled a detailed timeline of Erika's activities. "I need clarity," Ellie told a friend. "Not just for me, but for everyone involved. The public may see drama, but for me, this is about safeguarding my family and our future." The meticulous documentation only heightened the stakes, as anyone who had previously dismissed her concerns now had to confront the growing weight of evidence. Amidst this chaos, an unexpected voice emerged, JD's longtime advisor, who had been watching the situation unfold from the sidelines. In a private conversation with JD, the advisor cautioned, "This is bigger than just family tension. If the public perceives division, it could impact your political career. You need to address this carefully, balance truth with diplomacy, or risk a full-blown scandal." JD nodded, knowing the advice was sound but feeling trapped between love, loyalty, and public pressure. He could see Ellie's point, could understand her anger, but also feared the long-term implications of a public confrontation spiraling out of control. As evening fell, Ellie called for a family meeting, determined to air everything once and for all. Everyone gathered in the living room, the atmosphere tense, heavy with anticipation. Ellie, her voice steady but filled with emotion, began recounting her discoveries, her suspicions, and her fears. Erika listened, expression guarded but attentive. JD, silent for much of it, occasionally interjected, attempting to maintain calm. The family, friends, and a few close confidants present could feel the intensity, the raw emotion, and the high stakes. It was no longer a private feud. It had become a battleground of trust, ambition, and loyalty. And just as the first hour of the meeting concluded, a new revelation hit. A leaked text message, sent from Erika to a political strategist just the week prior, surfaced on social media. The message appeared to outline a plan to increase Erika's visibility, coordinate with media outlets, and position herself in ways that could rival Ellie's influence. The leak caused an immediate uproar. Fans were shocked, the family was thrown into disarray, and the public began questioning motives, alliances, and loyalties. The tension, already unbearable, reached a new level, leaving everyone wondering what would happen next, who would break first, and whether the family could ever return to a sense of normalcy. The leaked text was a bombshell, and the family could feel the walls closing in. JD's phone buzzed incessantly with notifications, each one a reminder that their private lives were now under public scrutiny. Fans and critics alike were dissecting every word, analyzing every gesture, and debating loyalties as though the family's living room was a global stage. Ellie, however, refused to let the chaos overwhelm her. She stood firm, determined to confront Erika directly about the implications of the text. "Enough hiding," she said, her voice steady but cold. "This isn't just rumors anymore. This is proof that you've been planning behind our backs, and it stops now." Erika, whose carefully crafted composure had been her armor, finally seemed rattled. "Ellie, please," she said, trying to soften the tension. "You're interpreting this all wrong. It's not what you think." But the defiance in Ellie's eyes made it clear she would accept no excuses. The confrontation escalated as the evening wore on. Friends who had stayed to mediate watched in disbelief as accusations flew like arrows. "I can't believe you would do this," Ellie snapped, throwing the folder of evidence onto the table. Papers slid across the polished wood, each document a silent testament to weeks of meticulous research and growing suspicion. Erika stood her ground, but there was a noticeable tremor in her voice. "Ellie, you're twisting everything. Yes, I want to help, I want to be involved, but it was never about undermining you." JD, caught in the middle, ran a hand through his hair. "Please, both of you, stop. We're family. We have to handle this without destroying ourselves." Yet the intensity only grew. A new twist arrived in the form of a recorded phone call that had mysteriously surfaced online, allegedly capturing Erika speaking to a prominent political commentator. In the recording, Erika discussed strategic positioning, public appearances, and influence over key decisions, all in ways that closely mirrored the accusations Ellie had been making for months. Fans were shocked, their disbelief mixing with fascination, while the family was left in stunned silence. One observer later described the scene as like watching a live soap opera unfold, except the stakes are real and emotions are raw. Ellie seized the moment, her voice rising with urgency. "This is it. We have proof. Not speculation, not rumors, not assumptions. This is exactly what I was trying to show you. You can't pretend anymore, Erika. We see it, the public sees it, everyone sees it. And JD, you need to recognize what's happening before it spirals completely out of control." The intensity of her words made the room feel like it was vibrating with emotion. Erika, who had maintained her calm for so long, finally broke. Tears welled in her eyes, and for a brief moment, the polished, calculated persona melted away. I didn't mean for any of this to hurt anyone," she whispered, her voice cracking. The family's friends, who had been silent observers until now, couldn't stay out of the fray. One longtime friend of Ellie's leaned in, her voice trembling with anger. "How could you think you could just play these games with people's lives? This isn't a boardroom strategy. This is family." Another friend, closer to Erika, attempted to defend her, saying she never wanted it to get this far. She was just trying to position herself to help, not to undermine anyone. The room became a cacophony of voices, each accusation met with a counterpoint, each defense met with doubt. Amidst the chaos, JD finally found his voice. "Enough. Everyone stop talking," he shouted, his tone leaving no room for argument. The room fell silent for a heartbeat, the weight of his words pressing on everyone present. He continued, his voice softer but firm. "We need clarity. We need to understand intentions, and we need to figure out how to move forward without tearing ourselves apart. This isn't just about public perception. It's about us as a family. Ellie looked at him, her eyes still burning with determination. JD, I'm trying to protect us, to protect what we've built. She's been planning behind our backs, and I can't just stand by and do nothing. JD's shoulders slumped, the pressure of leadership, loyalty, and love pressing down. As if the tension wasn't enough, another twist arrived late that night. An anonymous social media account leaked private photos allegedly showing Erika in meetings with political insiders, planning events that had never been publicly announced. Fans were stunned, emotions ran high online, and the family was once again thrust into the spotlight. The leak added fuel to the fire, intensifying speculation, suspicion, and anger. Every movement was scrutinized, every interaction analyzed, and the narrative of betrayal, ambition, and hidden agendas deepened. Ellie, refusing to be intimidated, began documenting every detail meticulously. She created timelines, cross-referenced messages, and compiled testimonies from witnesses who had attended meetings, dinners, and private gatherings. I have to be thorough, she told a friend. If we're going to confront this head-on, we need clarity. We need undeniable evidence. The truth has to be on our side. Her determination impressed some and intimidated others. Erika, meanwhile, retreated to strategize with her closest advisors, attempting to control damage and spin the situation in her favor. Yet, every move she made seemed to be countered by Ellie's meticulous record-keeping. The emotional intensity of the saga reached a new peak when a family friend revealed an even deeper layer. Erika had allegedly tried to subtly manipulate other family members, seeking alliances to bolster her influence. The revelation stunned everyone. So she's not just after influence publicly, Ellie said, her voice sharp. She's been trying to create support within our own family, trying to turn loyalty into leverage. The betrayal felt personal, raw, and impossible to ignore. JD, overwhelmed, tried to maintain balance. We can't let this destroy us. We have to address it, confront it, and find a path forward, he said, though even he seemed uncertain how to navigate the labyrinth of ambition, emotion, and public scrutiny. As the drama unfolded, the public was drawn in deeper. Every social media post, every leaked document, every emotional confrontation became fodder for viral discussions, memes, and debates. Fans were shocked, some taking sides fiercely, others expressing sympathy for all parties involved. The family's privacy had been breached repeatedly, yet the spectacle showed no signs of slowing down. Insiders claimed that the emotional toll was enormous. Everyone was exhausted, yet no one could step back without risking further escalation or public misinterpretation. Then came a shocking revelation that few had anticipated. A close aide of Erika's allegedly came forward privately, confirming that Erika had indeed been planning her First Lady ambitions secretly, but insisted it was driven more by passion for political causes than a desire to undermine Ellie personally. This nuance complicated everything. Fans were divided. Some saw it as vindication for Ellie, proof of hidden scheming. Others sympathized with Erika, seeing her ambitions as well-intentioned but poorly executed. The family itself was caught in a whirlpool of emotion, torn between accountability, forgiveness, and fear of public fallout. As part of the evening drew to a close, the atmosphere was tense but temporarily subdued. Ellie, JD, and Erika sat together in a strained silence, each reflecting on the emotional roller coaster of the day. JD's inner conflict was palpable. Love for Ellie, concern for Erika, and awareness of public perception all collided. Ellie remained resolute, determined to protect her family and expose the truth, while Erika wrestled with the consequences of her ambitions and the public scrutiny that now seemed impossible to escape. The room was heavy with unspoken questions. Could trust be rebuilt? Could ambition be tempered by honesty? And most importantly, could the family survive the storm they had unleashed? But just as the night seemed to calm, another bombshell appeared. A previously private message, allegedly sent by Erika to a journalist, surfaced online, hinting at further plans to influence key decisions and increase her visibility at political events. The leak reignited the drama, forcing fans, family, and insiders back into speculation mode. Emotions ran high once more, the family was left divided, and the stage was set for yet another chapter in this saga, promising betrayal, confrontation, and shocking revelations that no one could have predicted. The leaked message to the journalist ignited a new level of chaos. Social media exploded as screenshots circulated, each one dissected and shared thousands of times. Fans were shocked, emotions ran high, and the family was once again thrust into the spotlight. JD felt the weight of every eye on him, every opinion questioning his choices, his loyalty, and his ability to manage the growing storm. Ellie, however, refused to retreat. "This stops now," she said, pacing the room, her hands clenched into fists. "We cannot let secrecy and ambition control our lives. The truth has to come out fully, for everyone to see." Erika, meanwhile, looked on, a mixture of fear, defiance, and exhaustion visible on her face. She realized that the careful plans she had been weaving for months were now unraveling before a public audience she could no longer control. The confrontation that followed was intense. JD called for a private meeting with both women, hoping to mediate before the situation spiraled further. "We need honesty," he began, his voice calm but authoritative. "I need both of you to be honest about your intentions, your actions, and what you want moving forward." Ellie's voice was steady, filled with conviction. "JD, I've been honest from the start. This isn't just about intentions, it's about actions. Erika has been planning behind our backs, building influence without transparency, and now it's time for accountability." Erika, tears in her eyes, attempted to defend herself. "I didn't mean for this to hurt anyone. I thought I was helping. I never wanted to come between you two." The tension in the room was palpable. Every word felt like it could ignite another round of arguments. Friends who had stayed close to mediate whispered to one another, astonished at the raw emotion on display. One longtime family friend described it as watching a pressure cooker explode in slow motion. Every sentence, every glance, every movement is loaded with unspoken feelings, and you can almost feel the heat radiating from the room. The drama escalated further when another bombshell emerged. A video allegedly showing Erika coaching a group of young political aides on public appearances and media strategy was leaked online. The footage was short but striking, showing Erika giving detailed instructions about how to position oneself in front of cameras, how to answer questions, and how to subtly influence public perception. Fans were shocked, debates raged online, and emotions ran high. Ellie, seizing the moment, used the footage to underscore her argument. "This is exactly what I've been saying," she told JD. "It's not just planning, it's a calculated effort to step into a role that isn't hers. We can't ignore it." JD, feeling trapped between loyalty, love, and the growing public scrutiny, tried to calm everyone down. "We need to take a step back," he said, his voice firm. "This is getting out of control. We need to consider the family, the public, and the long-term impact. Fighting like this in front of everyone will destroy more than just reputations. It will hurt us personally." Ellie, however, was unwavering. "I've already stepped back for months, JD. Now it's time for transparency. We cannot let hidden agendas continue unchecked. It's about protecting us, our family, and our future." As the night deepened, emotions reached a breaking point. Erika, feeling cornered, made a bold move. She revealed that she had also been under immense pressure from political advisors, feeling that her visibility and influence were expected if she wanted to support JD's career effectively. "I was trapped," she admitted, voice shaking. "I thought I was helping, but everything spiraled. I never wanted to hurt anyone, and I certainly never wanted to destroy what you have, Ellie. I was trying to navigate expectations, and I lost sight of the personal cost." The room fell silent, everyone processing this unexpected confession. Even JD seemed taken aback, realizing that the layers of ambition, expectation, and personal feelings were far more complex than he had imagined. Just when it seemed that emotions had reached a temporary equilibrium, another revelation arrived. A private conversation between Erika and a prominent media consultant had been leaked, suggesting that she had considered ways to subtly influence public perception to her favor. The leak reignited tension, forcing everyone to confront the reality that ambition, secrecy, and perception were deeply intertwined in this saga. Fans were shocked, the family felt exposed, and the drama showed no signs of slowing down. Amidst all this, Ellie remained resolute. She focused on documenting everything, compiling timelines, messages, and evidence to ensure clarity and truth. "We cannot afford to let confusion or manipulation dominate," she told a close friend. "If we are going to survive this, if we are going to protect our family and reputation, the facts must be undeniable." Her determination was inspiring to some, intimidating to others, and utterly captivating to the public, who followed every twist and turn with rapt attention. As the evening continued, JD orchestrated a final, decisive meeting to address the situation head-on. Everyone sat down, emotions raw, eyes glistening with exhaustion, frustration, and lingering fear. JD spoke first, acknowledging the complexity of ambition, loyalty, and love. "We have to find a way to reconcile," he said. "We cannot allow misunderstanding, secrecy, or ambition to destroy what we have built. This is about family, about trust, and about honesty." Ellie, her voice firm and unwavering, responded, "We start with truth. Nothing hidden, nothing masked, no agendas left unexplored." Erika nodded, tears streaming down her face, finally acknowledging the depth of impact her actions had caused. "I will be honest," she whispered. "I understand now the consequences, and I am ready to make amends." The conversation slowly evolved from confrontation to dialogue. Emotions ran high, yet clarity began to emerge. JD guided both women through a process of acknowledgement, apology, and reflection. Ellie spoke openly about the betrayal she felt, the worry for their family, and the fear of manipulation. Erika admitted the mistakes she had made, the misjudgments, and the ways ambition had clouded judgment. The dialogue, raw and unfiltered, allowed the family to begin the slow process of reconciliation, though the public had already witnessed the spectacle and drawn its own conclusions. Just as the meeting was winding down, a final twist hit the family. A previously unknown relative, long absent from family events, appeared unexpectedly with information that suggested Erika had been even more ambitious than anyone realized. The revelation added another layer of complexity, forcing the family to reassess motives, alliances, and the path forward. Fans were once again shocked, the saga deepened, and the narrative of secrecy, ambition, and emotional intensity continued to captivate the public. By the end of the night, the family reached a tentative truce. Ellie, Erika, and JD had begun the difficult work of rebuilding trust, understanding the consequences of ambition, and finding ways to navigate their intertwined personal and public lives. Yet, even as the immediate confrontation ended, the story was far from over. The public remained captivated, social media buzzed with speculation, and the emotional intensity lingered, leaving everyone wondering what the next chapter might hold. The saga, filled with betrayal, ambition, confrontation, and unexpected twists, had transformed a family dispute into a public spectacle that captivated fans, shocked observers, and left the family forever changed. Every leaked message, every private conversation, and every tearful admission had been a brushstroke in a portrait of ambition, loyalty, and the human cost of secrecy. And while the night concluded with a fragile sense of reconciliation, the questions remained. Could trust ever be fully restored? Would ambition continue to shape interactions? And how much of this drama would ultimately play out in the unforgiving arena of public opinion? As the night of revelations came to a close, one thing became crystal clear. The drama surrounding JD Vance, Ellie, and Erika Kirk is far from over. Secrets have been exposed, ambitions laid bare, and loyalties tested like never before. Fans are still reeling from the confrontations, the leaked messages, and the shocking confessions that turned a private family matter into a national spectacle. Emotions ran high. The family was left divided and vulnerable, yet a tentative truce has emerged, though everyone knows that in the world of politics and personal ambition, nothing stays settled for long. The question on everyone's mind now is simple: who will make the next move, and what will it mean for the family, their future, and the public image they've worked so hard to build? Will Ellie maintain her protective stance, guarding her family from further manipulation? Can Erika redeem herself, rebuilding trust after her secret ambitions came to light? And where does JD stand in the middle of it all, trying to balance love, loyalty, and public perception without losing everything? The answers are still unfolding, and every fan, insider, and observer is on the edge of their seat waiting for the next shocking twist. If you want to keep up with every explosive update, every tearful confrontation, and every shocking revelation in this ongoing saga, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell. Comment below with your thoughts. Who do you think is telling the truth, and who's playing the long game? We want to hear your opinions, your predictions, and your reactions. Trust us, you do not want to miss a single moment of this jaw-dropping, family-shaking, secret-revealing drama, because in this story, the truth is just as wild as the lies. Stay tuned, stay engaged, and let the drama unfold with us.